today we're talking about the art of SP-404 Mark II live performance, but first let's shout out today's patron, and that shout out goes to Kimberly Graciano. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So last week I had a family member approach me and ask me about doing music for a live event, a party they're throwing in the back half of this year. And I said, sure. I didn't really think anything of it. I figured I'd just throw some songs on a laptop and hit play. It's going to be basically 50s through 80s rock, kind of just, all-encompassing there. But then I thought, well, hang on, I could bring a little bit of flair to this. You see, I've always wanted to use the SP-404 Mark II in some sort of DJ-esque type situation, and this seemed like the perfect time to learn how to do that. So that's exactly what I am going to use for that gig, we'll call it. And I actually feel pretty confident about it, and the reason I do feel confident is because at the end of the day, each one of these pads here can hold up to 16 minutes of audio, so I can just download a whole bunch of songs and just put them on pad by pad. There's 16 gigs of storage on here, 16 pads per bank, 10 banks per project, and 16 projects. So there's so much space for music, and I can just trigger songs one by one, or even using patterns, I could have them chain and just go one after the other. So it's not really something I'm concerned about. Like at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to make it work, no problem. But then I started doing research on how other people perform with the SP-404 Mark II and found a whole new side of this device that I'd never really considered. See, I have performed with the 404 Mark II before, but I've just kind of used it as a sample storehouse, triggering them as one-shots from the pads across other things that I've been looping, or like sounds playing off the MC707. It's just kind of been a supplemental device, but you can totally use this as a standalone performance device. Now, of course, we do have DJ mode, but I'm not really going to touch on that in this video. I just want to show you what I've done to sort of get my feet wet in this space. This isn't really something I've ever done before, so I figured I'd just walk you through what I've got set up here, and then maybe I'll do a performance for Sunday sessions or something like that. So the way I decided I'd really like to perform is by having separate tracks on different banks and having the stems from those tracks as separate individual samples. Now we're going to skip what's in bank A, and that's because, as you'll hear here in just a second, it's copyright. I was playing with some 50s rock, and that is Happy Together by the Turtles. However, you'll notice I've got 3 tracks here, and that's because I actually went in, downloaded the song, put it into Ableton, and then separated the stems. So I've basically got the drums right here, the vocals right here, and then the rest of the instruments right here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I can actually put them on different effects buses and affect them differently. But I wanted to take that to the next step. So as we get into bank B here, this is my original track, Diffuser, and then track C is a jazz remake I did of my original track, Ghost in the Galaxy. So how I've got this laid up is I've got 4 stems up top here. Here I've got the drums. Here I've got the bass and the other instruments. Here I've got the lead sounds. And here I've got the vocals, which in this song is just some count-in stuff. Now, what I actually did is I took this sample and I put it down here and I chopped up the different vocals.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Just like that.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then here I've got this kind of fun rampy lead thing. And I figured it would be neat to be able to play that live. So I actually left that out of the stem exports from Ableton. The other thing I did is I went into pad link here and I linked these 3 pads. So when I hit 1 to trigger one of the stems, it's going to trigger the other 2 as well. So all 3 stems that I want playing are all linked together. That keeps them in sync. I also did that for Happy Together by the Turtles and for Ghost in the Galaxy. Now again, having multiple stems actually allows me to go in and send them to different buses here. So remember, these 3 pads right here are the stems. So 1 and 3 are completely dry. By the way, we're going to ignore 4 for this one. I'm not going to be triggering it because, again, I put those sounds right down here. And then 2 is on bus 1. Right now, I don't have any effect on bus 1, and I don't have any effect on bus 2 as well, but I can hit remain and hit the pad I want and swap it between bus 1 and no bus. as soon as I put an effect on bus 2. So let's put the DJ looper on bus 2. Now I can also hold remain and hit the pad and send it to bus 2, which is green. So I'm just getting used to it, but this is a really interesting way of performing because I can individually affect those stems in a live setting. So let's go ahead and try this intro and see how I do here. So let's take the instrumental here and put it on the second bus and then turn on the looper. Got that master on and off for the stutter. We can hear the melody is separate, so let's take the melody and put it on the looper. Pretty fun. Let's put these on, or let's put the drums on bus 1. And on bus 1, let's put a scatter effect. Still learning what all these do. Still gotta play that. Forgot that part. Yeah, see, still learning. Oh, I didn't mean to stop it. I accidentally hit this pad and started it over. That's something I'm going to have to learn to avoid as well. But as you can see, it is actually a pretty engaging performance, especially at an event where maybe you're not the complete live focus, but people are still just kind of vibing out to the music, hanging, chatting with each other, eating, drinking. But they can look up and still watch you doing your thing, and all the music is just coming from this little box. That's pretty cool. And again, this is just one very specific way to perform. There are so many other ways. You've got DJ mode where you can have multiple tracks going and cue stuff, and then you can switch back to patterns or play one-shots. You've got the ability to go in and set stuff to chromatic mode. Play that with a keyboard if you want. You can go polyphonic, like I could play that over the top. I could trigger some sounds with like a drum pad, which that would be really fun for this venue as well. There's also a microphone / guitar or bass input on the bottom, and you can resample that in real time, I believe, to a pad. So you can almost do like some pseudo looping stuff. And there is a looper on here as well. I don't have anything set up to use that right now. It's not my favorite looper, but you can integrate that in too. Let's switch over to Ghost in the Galaxy. Here I've just got 4 stems, which I believe is drums, instruments, lead, and then piano solo. So let's set the lead here to, see, I'm still learning, to bus 1 and have some fun here. Okay, here we go. Oh, I messed that up. Yeah, definitely still learning. That's kind of fun. All right, we'll stop it there because I still want to try and give an actual performance for a Sunday sessions. But I'm really excited because this is a whole new world that I have just begun to explore on the 404. And I really was only prompted to discover it because of the family member asking me to do this event with, pre-existing tracks. So if you are looking to branch out and try something new on the 404, put some full tracks into the 404 Mark II. Either stem them out or just keep them, as an individual song on one sample and start playing with things. I know we barely scratched the surface here, but this is just something that I'm really excited about and I can't wait to pursue it. Maybe we'll integrate a MIDI drum pad or even a keyboard or something, to play some more samples over these stems. There's a lot more effect stuff we can do. There's resampling you can do live. I know you can integrate the looper kind of into your live workflow as well. And who knows, DJ mode might also make an appearance. I know there's cool stuff you can do with it. I've done one video about DJ mode, and I learned a lot from that, and I've mostly forgotten it now, so it would be fun to revisit and see what I can come up with. But yeah, all that to say, live performance on the SP-404 Mark II is a true art form. This video is the equivalent of me taking a bucket of paint and tripping on it, knocking the lid off, and the paint spilled on the floor. Didn't even get to the canvas. But I know there are some masters out there. I suggest having a search on YouTube if it interests you. There's some insanely cool stuff, and I can't wait to keep pursuing this avenue of live performance. I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.